Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer brought to you by Forge College. Now, in our last lesson, Applied Reentrancy Guards and Worked Examples, we covered all the theory behind securing smart contracts. But let's be real, theory only goes so far when digital bank robbers are actively roaming the blockchain. So today, we're putting on our hard hats, stepping entirely out of the classroom, and actually writing the code to stop a smart contract bank heist dead in its tracks. Let's dive right in.
So here's a real head-scratcher for you. How do you actually prove a vault is unhackable? It's a pretty serious question, because to truly trust our smart contract defenses, simply reading a blueprint isn't going to cut it. You can't just build a lock and hope for the best. Nope. We have to literally play the role of the lead penetration tester and actively try to rob our own simulated banks. We need to actually feel the difference between a protected and an unprotected implementation by getting our hands dirty with the code.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1. 2 banks, 1 problem, comparing contracts.
Let's set up our scenario here. Imagine we've deployed 2 seemingly identical smart contract banks. To the untrained eye, both look like perfectly safe, totally normal places to park your Ethereum. But if you look closely at the logic of our first bank, appropriately named VulnerableBank, there is a glaring issue. It actually hands over the cash before it bothers to update your internal account balance. It's basically like a lazy accountant handing you stacks of money from the vault and saying, "Oh, hold on a second, let me find my pen to write this down." Contrast that sharply with our upgraded GuardedBank. This one strictly updates the ledger first, and it uses a very special modifier called nonReentrant.
Moving on to Section 2, meet the attacker, the exploit.
So really wrap our heads around why that lazy accounting is so catastrophically dangerous, we need a villain. Enter the ReentrancyAttacker contract. Here is exactly how this little digital burglar pulls off the heist. Step 1, they deposit a tiny, totally legitimate amount of funds just to open an account. Step 2, they hit withdraw. But step 3 is where the dark magic happens. The attacker uses a receive fallback function in their own contract. The exact millisecond the bank sends the Ethereum, this fallback triggers like a boomerang, instantly hitting the withdraw function a second time. Because that lazy accountant hasn't updated the ledger yet, the bank thinks the attacker still has a full balance. They just loop this infinitely. It is literally an unlimited money glitch, running until the vault is completely dry.
Which brings us to Section 3, the security upgrade. OpenZeppelin ReentrancyGuard. We obviously can't let this chaos continue, right? So our guarded bank brings in the heavy machinery, a mutex, that's short for mutual exclusion. You can basically think of a mutex as a massive, incredibly tough nightclub bouncer who strictly locks the door from the inside the moment someone enters. It's just a simple state machine, but it guarantees that nobody else, and I mean absolutely nobody, not even a recursive boomerang-style call from our attacker, can squeeze through that door until the first transaction is fully complete and the bouncer finally unlocks it.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. Think of nonReentrant as a door that securely locks while the function runs. By simply dropping this one little modifier onto our external withdrawal function, bam, we shut down the attacker's loop instantly. If they try to pull that boomerang trick and re-enter, the smart contract checks the state, sees the door is locked tight, and immediately reverts the entire transaction.
Okay, on to Section 4, testing the defenses, penetration tests.
So, we have our lock installed, but as smart contract security architects, we don't just blindly trust the lock, do we? No, we violently rattle the doorknob. Using JavaScript testing frameworks like Hardhat and Chai, our test suite setup becomes this highly choreographed security drill. First, we deploy both the VulnerableBank and the GuardedBank. Next, we fund them with some test Ethereum so there's actually something in the vault to steal. And finally, we unleash the attacker contract against both of them, carefully monitoring the aftermath block by block.
And how exactly does this build our confidence? Well, we use really precise assertions in Chai to mathematically prove our defenses. We literally write a test fully expecting the vulnerable bank's balance to absolutely plummet, which proves the heist succeeds if the code is weak. Conversely, against the guarded bank, we assert that the attacker's sneaky transaction is explicitly reverted with a reentrancy error. If that specific test passes, we know for a fact our digital bouncer did their job and stopped the recursive call in its tracks. If a test fails, those failure clues immediately expose if we forgot our modifier or maybe just misordered our operations. Finally, Section 5, checking the vault, state invariants.
Listen, an audit isn't complete just because a transaction failed to crash. A passing test that simply doesn't revert is incredibly weak. We have to verify our state invariants to prove the underlying math perfectly aligns. We check 3 core things. First, the guarded bank's actual ETH balance must remain entirely unchanged during the attack. Second, every single depositor's recorded balance must equal exactly what we expect it to be. And third, the sum of all internal recorded balances has to perfectly match the contract's actual Ethereum balance. Seriously, not a single way can be missing from the vault.
All of this brilliantly illustrates our core formula for today. Always use guards on external functions that perform transfers, period. Combine those mutex guards with the checks effects interactions pattern for some true heavy-duty defense in depth. Assert your state invariants and tests rather than just cheering because a transaction was successful. And finally, always test the vulnerable and guarded states side by side. True smart contract security requires strict operational order, literal locks on your external doors, and ruthless, unrelenting testing.
Which brings us to what's next. Synthesis and next steps for attack analysis. We are going to take everything we just built and apply it to a much broader pattern recognition framework for advanced attacks. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, made by Forge College. To continue mastering Web3 security and leveling up your skills, head over to forge.college. But before you go, I want you to ask yourself this. If a single missing line of code can drain a multi-million-dollar protocol in milliseconds, what other invisible unlocked doors are hiding in the dApps you use every single day? See you in the next explainer.